Fashion Day! I'm loving it. So, I have a wonderful, amazing career transformation story for you today. A woman who's an inspiration for other entrepreneurs. She's the beautiful, the lovely Sophie Thorpe.
What the job is this? Hi, my name's Sophie Thorpe. I'm also known as your style sister. And I teach women how to style themselves. And there's also quite a deep personal development element to what I do as well.
How did I meet you again? Just remind me. Oh, we met at your event?
Matty came to my event, which I was very honoured to have her there. And yeah, you came up to me at the end, didn't you?
I know.
With this huge smile on her face, like, oh my god, I have to talk to you. And I was like, hi. And we just
connected. The thing about Sophie was she has this air and wonderful energy around her, and she's wearing this awesome red dress, those fantastic shoes, and I just feel like this is a style sister after my own heart, so I have to talk to her.
My way to help women is to teach them how and why they should be dressing particular ways, or how and why they should be wearing a piece of jewellery, or a particular colour or a particular shape. And there's a very deep sort of personal development element to what I do. So it's teaching about getting more connections with people around you, and especially for career-minded women who are at networking events. I don't know if you've ever walked into a room and felt completely terrified to go and speak to somebody. So I teach women how to dress in a particular way that's going to have people approaching you instead. So there's lots of different elements to it, but that's definitely a major part of what I do. At 5, I knew I wanted to be in fashion. That was a no-brainer. However, I got so sidelined along the way, and I'm sure there's plenty of women in your audience who are thinking, yeah, I've got sidelined as well. Like, I've gone off with a shiny new object and down this and that path. And that was really my way of sort of avoiding what I should have been doing. But then there were other things along the way. I had a lot of weight gain. I went from a size 8 to a size 18, and just completely lost all confidence in myself, had such a poor self-image, and I had surgery to reduce my breast size as well. I had so many things, so many issues around how I looked, that I mean, at one point I was even terrified to leave the house to go meet people, even to go to Tesco's. So I had redundancy that completely knocked me for 6. And just lost my way through many things. I had depression at one point as well, as a result of the redundancy. I think anybody who's experienced redundancy is quite, it's such a major rejection. We do take it personally, I think. It's not a personal thing. It's a numbers game. It's a financial numbers game. But we do take it personally. Yeah. And as a result of that, that was when I gained all the weight, and I suffered with agoraphobia, and just really completely lost my way. Completely.
We have what we call what the job is this moment. So the awakening moment, which makes you realize I need to do something with my life right now that's going to help me to break out and do a career change.
Yeah. Excellent question. There were 2 elements to that. The first one was during my redundancy, because I was actually doing a marketing executive job at the time, and I knew that it wasn't in fashion. As I said earlier, I wanted to be in fashion since 5 years old, so that wasn't in fashion, and I knew that I needed to get back into that, so I started and made my way back into fashion. So that was the first thing. Having got back into the fashion retail industry, I spent probably another 5 years in the industry. And my next what the job is this moment was having an epiphany and realising that the values of fashion retail didn't match my own values. Retail is all about the profit, it's about the targets, and it's about getting your salespeople to make those targets, and it's so much less about the person and the individual that you're employing than the money. Yeah. And also there's a very strange relationship between the customer on the shop floor and the staff. And I think we are in a culture where sales staff aren't respected, and there is an idea from customers that they can speak to staff any way they like. And so on so many levels it didn't match my values. I think that just generally, if I'm providing a service and I'm friendly, I want to be respected and I want to be spoken to with kindness and the same respect that I'm giving to my customers, matching my own personal values. I had a bit of a meltdown and was having coffee with my brother one day, and he'd previously, in about 2 years before, launched himself as a personal trainer. So he said, why don't you do personal styling? You do it naturally. I took his girlfriend at the time, I took her out shopping. I took friends and family shopping. I did it naturally anyway. So he said, why don't you do that freelance? Because you'll be your own boss, you'll get to do it your way, and you can make money out of it. I was like, okay, fine, thanks. Thanks for the another little piece of information there. So I researched styling courses to take.
Okay.
Enrolled on one. Had so many more epiphany moments going at my head like you wouldn't believe, and I felt awakened. I really felt awakened. I felt like I'd been asleep for all my life, and then bam, I got it. I just got it. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I launched not long after that, and I found that it wasn't really a smart business model for me, and I could see other stylists around me sort of struggling. So I ended up on a personal development weekend, randomly, and I saw the way it was set up. And it was public speaking, and it was from the stage, and I could actually reach women in the room together. And there's a really powerful thing about doing that on maps and in a room all together, because the women that are in that room, they bond. It's that you've got so much phenomenal information in your head that you're desperate to give people. But you keep going with, you're a fraud, you can't do this, you're no good, you're not good enough, you're a joke. Oh my God, the list just goes on. My personal experience is that you are given information from a very young age as to what you are. And it actually has no relation. It's actually what other people impose on you, information that they impose on you.
Yeah.
So you get an idea of who you are based on external information.
Absolutely.
From family, teachers. I mean, I had such an experience with a teacher at 5 years old that absolutely changed the course of my life forever. Now I'm able to turn that around and actually...
And I know that when I came to your event, it was completely packed.
I know.
And I mean, you did how many events until you got to that stage?
Just less than a handful.
Less than a handful.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And there's me 6 months ago thinking this is never going to work. Nobody's going to want this information. My first one, I had 34 people in the room. My second one, I had 45.
Yes.
The next one after that, I had 65, and we had to turn 5 people away because there physically wasn't enough room in there. And for health and safety reasons, I had to keep it like that. The fourth one, we had 75 in the room, and I had to turn away over 30 people because, again, for health and safety reasons, there just wasn't enough room not enough space in the room for them. It's just completely blown up, and I had no anticipation or ideas or expectations of how it was going to go. I was thrilled the first time that I had 34 women in the room, because I heard so many rooms, you'll be lucky if you... Somebody even said to me, you'll be lucky if you get 3 people in the room. And I'm like, wow.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Thanks for the motivation. Yeah, and I think it was somebody who actually motivates people, but yeah.
Wow, so was that one of your proudest moments?
Yes, it was one of my proudest moments. But I think what makes me even more proud after that is the women who come up to me at the end and talk to me deeply in what you give out. you get back.
Yes.
And I apply that to how people dress. So having a career should be in style. So you should be communicating visually exactly what it is that you're about, where you're going and what you want to achieve, because people need to know instantly. It's 1/10 of a second that we look at somebody and judge who they are and what they're about. And that is...
Love it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I love it too. I really do. I genuinely love what I do. It's incredible just to see the transformation in women. Is just, oh my god, it's so overwhelming for me. Forget them.
Sophie, I mean, the information that you've shared with us today has been amazing, fabulous, as you know. And did you tell me that you had an event coming up recently?
Well, I do actually, Matthew. I do, yeah. On the 15th of March, I've got an event coming up. And it's a free event.
Fantastic.
Because, you know, you've got to have access to information easily. And the venue is to be confirmed, but it's on the 15th of March from 2 to 6. And it's my freestyle event, and you can find that on meetup.com/YourStyleSister.
Absolutely.
And you can connect with me on Facebook /YourStyleSister and Twitter /YourStyleSister.
Awesome, Sophie, this has been amazing.
Thank you very
so much for your time
No, it's been
today.
such a pleasure. It's been really good
I'm
fun.
honoured to have you on my set.
Well,
and
I'm honoured to be here. Thank you. It's amazing. Incredible.
Fantastic.
I just feel okay. We do the Vogue move.
Yeah, we're going to do the Vogue move.